the heart of the qin and the edge of the sword. The interplay of gentleness and strength in Chinese tradition and the illumination of Christian wisdom. 1. The interwoven essence of qin and sword. In the long river of Chinese civilization, the qin and the sword stand as twin symbols of the human spirit's dual calling, grace and strength, contemplation and courage. The qin embodies a serenity, harmony, and the inward resonance of the soul. The sword embodies valor, justice, and the outward assertion of righteousness. These two, one yielding, one resolute, together form the complete temperament of the sage. Confucius taught that the gentleman must cultivate himself through the arts. The 6 arts, rites, music, archery, charioteering, calligraphy, and mathematics, were not external accomplishments but inward disciplines of harmony and control. Music tempers the heart. Martial skill disciplines the body. Together, they forge integrity. Thus, the qin and the sword are not opposed, but mutually purifying. The one refines the spirit, the other steels the will. The balance of gentleness and strength is not merely aesthetic. It is moral and spiritual. Without the qin's inward calm, the sword becomes a tool of violence. Without the sword's sense of justice, the qin dissolves into indulgent sentimentality. The unity of the two mirrors the very structure of divine order, the logos that is both word and power, grace and truth. 2. The Confucian ideal of harmonious strength. The Confucian tradition envisions humanity as a moral art, the perfection of personality through harmony. Heaven is strong. The gentleman must strengthen himself unceasingly. Yet this strength is not harshness, but self-mastery under virtue. The true warrior does not draw the sword in rage, but bears it with solemnity and reverence. In this light, the qin becomes the moral counterpart of the sword. To play the qin is to listen to heaven's resonance. To wield the sword is to enact heaven's justice. The highest realm is where the music of virtue harmonizes with the rhythm of heaven, where one's inner life and outer actions sing in unison. Confucius himself carried both qin and sword, not as ornaments but as spiritual instruments. In the Analects, we glimpse his gentleness in teaching and his firmness in moral rebuke. His was a soul tempered by melody and rectitude, a living union of sound and strength. 3. The Daoist and Zen vision, the emptiness that contains power. If Confucianism seeks harmony through cultivation, Taoism seeks transcendence through emptiness. Laozi's wisdom begins with Wu Wei, non-forceful action, but this is not weakness. It is the dynamic stillness of heaven's order. The softest thing in the world overcomes the hardest. Water, the most yielding of elements, shapes stone over ages. So too, the qin's tranquil resonance contains the infinite. Its silence is more powerful than the sword's sharpness. The true master does not fight against life's flow, but joins it, acting through non-action, ruling through humility, conquering through surrender. In Zen Chan tradition, this paradox reaches its peak. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The sword that slays delusion is not drawn outwardly, but inwardly, a cut that severs ignorance. Here, the qin and the sword dissolve into one. Every sound is a stroke. Every stroke is a note. This is the wisdom of emptiness, not nihilism, but the fullness of divine breath inhabiting the void. It anticipates, in some mysterious sense, the Christian paradox. When I am weak, then I am strong. 4. The Christian revelation, strength perfected in love. The mystery of gentleness and strength finds its ultimate revelation on the cross. In Christ, the lion and the lamb are one. The cross stands as the axis where divine justice and divine mercy meet, where the sword of truth pierces the heart of love, and love, in turn, redeems the sword. Christ is the true, gentle warrior. He commands the storm, yet weeps over Jerusalem. He rebukes demons, yet forgives his executioners. His strength is not domination, but sacrifice. His power is not coercion, but redemption. The chain of his heart sings, even in silence, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Christian wisdom thus transforms the ancient balance of chain and sword star. Asterisk, it does not merely harmonize strength and gentleness. It transfigures them. Love becomes the final sword that cuts through hatred, and gentleness becomes the new strength that conquers death. 5. From cultivation to resurrection, a new horizon of the human spirit. Chinese tradition seeks balance. Christian faith reveals resurrection. The former polishes the human nature toward moral perfection. The latter renews it from within by divine grace. The sage seeks to follow heaven. The disciple is reborn in Christ. Yet they are not strangers. The cultivation of the chain and the discipline of the sword find their fulfillment in the cross and the empty tomb. For what the ancients called harmony with heaven, the Christian names union with God. The heart of the chain teaches us to listen to the still voice of the Spirit. The discipline of the sword teaches us to guard truth in a world of confusion. Together they form the Christian virtue of meekness, not weakness, but power under obedience to love. 6. The song of the Spirit, toward an integrated humanity. When the chain strings and the sword's edge both serve the word, the human soul becomes whole. For every true musician is also a warrior, and every true warrior must become a musician. The melody of the chain without justice is sentimentality. The sword without compassion is tyranny. But when grace and truth embrace, when strength bows before love, then the music of heaven descends upon earth. This is the divine harmony of gentleness and strength. The chain heart and the sword spirit, refined not by human will, but by the light of Christ, who makes all opposites one.